Hi, folks, and welcome to another new day. And you're probably sick of me saying this, but well done you for getting here. And these scary times and worrisome times, and all that we have to do just to get through another day, or even, if this is the first time you watch this video, it's really important that you're able to acknowledge to yourself, that even though you've struggled, you still got here. And that just didn't happen. You put all the skills and abilities and energies you have just to get through another day. Maybe often when things are tiny, you just don't bother, So that's a fight in itself. But we've been doing videos. Last few videos is really about relationship stuff. And one of the things that we do and have done for well over 20 years is programmed around anger. Now, let me say at the very start, this is about individuals who want to take responsibility and look at their behavior. And it's not in any shape, form, or fashion a response to domestic violence to keep that under control. But it is to give people an insight to why people get angry. And most of all, often what I've found over all these years is a lot of people just don't understand where it comes from. So within the next number of videos, I'm not sure how long that'll be because this is usually a 10-week course, and we'll condense it in the snippets, hopefully to give you, but there'll be a lot of accompanying documentation on our Facebook page if you want to look at it. So we'll break it into chunks. And one of the first things we have to be mindful is we have this sense of when we speak and use words, it's not that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about, but every one of us is totally different. We've had our own life experience, and what things may mean to you doesn't necessarily mean to ours. And as we go forward in these videos, a big part of that is later on when we create the right environment, maybe to have a conversation around those people that might be on the receiving end of our anger to explain what's going on. We need to be very clear that we understand what we're saying, and more importantly, that we're able to explain and hear from them exactly what they're talking about. So one of the first things we're going to give you out on the website is a thing called a feeling wheel. Now, we're only going to concentrate on 2 segments of it, but the idea is that you use all of these things because as I said, I might use a word and it has a specific meaning to me, but could be a totally different meaning to you. And it's important when we use those words that we understand our people will have their own impression and maybe not we mean about that. And for instance, now there's many things associated with anger, particularly around feelings. So actually, jealousy and selfishness and frustration and annoyance and being irritated or even being skeptical are all elements of anger. And as they get deeper, you go into hurts and hostility and furiousness and actually rage and being very critical or hateful. They're all associated with anger. But each of those meanings could be totally different. So if I say to somebody, you're annoying me, how somebody annoys me can be totally different to how somebody else annoys you. And I might accept things and they mightn't bother me, but others, they just might react in very badly. So one of the things we do with this feeling wheel is to ask people to kind of write down, if you were to explain yourself to somebody, what it would mean. If, for instance, I wanted to say I was annoyed, and like all of us, that comes from when we're annoyed, we're thinking certain things, and then we feel certain things, and then we behave in certain ways, and we have actions towards others. And that'll be critical when we look around anger and what anger is, because often we're not giving real thought to what is actually happening. We're just almost reacting out of a word or a trigger that has happened, and we'll go into that in greater detail. But in the feeling wheel we give out, you'll see that the other side of this kind of pie is while we're trying to diminish the feelings of selfishness or frustration or rage or annoyance, the way to do that is to feel, they go the opposite, the more positive things about feeling more confident, more self-worth, more self-valued, more self-satisfied, be more cheerful, have more hope, feel more appreciated, feel respected, self-respect, feel proud about ourselves, be, faithful to yourselves and others. And while all of those are words, they all have a unique meaning to you. And it might be, now, if you really want to understand anger, where it comes from, that if you prompt off or look at, or go through this, have a look at what each of those words would mean for you if you were to explain it, and that, I'm conscious that our work is often with men, and often from a very, very early age, men are taught not to feel. Big boys don't cry, and sadly, it's part of the work we come across too often, that men kind of isolate themselves from their emotions. They cut them off because emotions get in the way. And in fact, there's a famous book by Louise A. Hay that says, "Feel the fear and do it anyway." And in it, she likens emotions to men almost feeling abusive to them. And so I am asking people to reflect upon what they're thinking, what they're actually feeling, and then how that allows them to behave when they would attribute those things to some of the words that you're going to see on here. So you're looking to lessen those senses of angry behavior and try to develop that positive, powerful behavior that is builds your self-esteem and self-worth and self-confidence. And so that's a beginning, and we ask you to look at that and begin to define that, so is that as we go on and we learn to actually speak, that we actually are able to explain, if other people don't understand our meaning of a word, what exactly it is. So, and all of this, and particularly as we deal with anger, it is really important that we talk, as I've already said, gently to ourselves, that we treat ourselves lovingly and kindly, but more importantly, so as that we don't hurt or harm anybody else, that we speak gently to others, that we are loving and kind to others as well. And if we do that, it is likely that we will get it back. So I wish you well for the rest of the day, and I will wish you peace and calmness, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening.